Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and today is one of my favorite days of the week. It is Woo Woo Wednesday. So my buddy Public Awakening will be joining us right after this. Do us a favor and give us a like and share this video. We'll be right back after this. Hey there, Public. Happy New Year to you.
Howdy. Happy New Year to you and everyone else. Happy New Year, guys. It's going to be the best year. If y'all see that new Macklemore song, it's going to be better. This year's going to be better. It's a good song. You got to hear it.
I think it's going to be the year of the tiger. We had, I had a great video with Jill Jardine and SL369 Crypto on my Patreon channel. We talked about how, we're coming up on the Chinese New Year, February 1st, and it's the year of the tiger. And I said, grab that tiger by the tail. I know that's one of, Mr. T's walkout songs.
Yep. Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. I thought that was really interesting. We've got quite a bit of woo to cover. Last week's video has seemed to be just one thing after another coming out, confirming that. So when we were looking at that document, the 1605, and going through it, and it was just like pretty amazing, talking about a transfer of military power, a transfer of financial, there was transfers of
military properties to something else.
Yeah. There was a continuance of support at the spa. There was one section that talked specifically about this issue. Let me pull it up on my Twitter, because the Department of Defense was asking military people to please fill out this survey about sexual harassment today. And that was one of the issues that they were talking about in this document, that then after Wednesday, I think the very next day, I found out that it was actually signed into law. If you go back to military.gov and look at the status of the bill.
We're talking about the NDAA of the National Defense Authorization Act of 2022.
Yes,
for the
national. Yeah, sorry, I'll pull it up again. But this was one of the issues that were that they were going to be having trials about. They would like to remind all service members of their chance to confidentially share your opinion on sexual assault, sexual harassment, and gender discrimination in the military. Submit your survey today. Gender relation surveys now allow all troops to give input. So I thought this was interesting because that was one of the issues. Let's see, is it this document? This was the document that we went through at congress.gov. And one of the things on here was global fuel disbursement.
I'm about to use a little doll's outfit here to clean. It looks like my camera's a little dirty, so I just got to get that. So
very professional.
Yeah, it's a little baby doll's outfit, It's all right though.
So let me see if I can go back to and find where this had been signed into law. And I sent this to someone that I respect a lot, and he replied, "Who signed it, Brandon?"
Okay.
So I don't know if that was a little bit of pushback or protest.
Yeah.
But
That's interesting. Yeah. It's like supposedly there's a lot of things that are not under his control in any way whatsoever.
yeah.
Apparently he does have something, but they did lock him out of that big White House out there in New York City. So you got to set up a fake shop out back.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows even where that is now. I just saw Hankowitz comments here. I think the best comment I saw all year so far. It says, I'm already feeling the woo in 22. Like, yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
It is definitely the year of woo, I think. So yeah, this has become law. You guys can see right here. The 1605 National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2022. So you guys can go back and watch. We won't go through because we went through an entire hour of a lot of details. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You can also search on this website, congress.gov, and you can enter the word currency, and this act comes up.
Oh.
Which I thought was very interesting.
I'm going to read up on that too. That document is so big. I was shocked. You scrolled for an hour, and I don't think the cursor moved this far down
and we
from the
didn't
top
get
of the screen.
through it all. Yeah.
No. I think it would take a day, like a solid day.
It was
a lot
really incredible.
Yeah.
But
writing that down. Very, very cool. I'm
but
excited.
It really goes in line with a lot of the things that we've been seeing and that we've been exploring on this show and on our woo and on our woo channel, especially talking about, all of our ideas about, when we heard, that oil went negative on DJT Day and the ideas that Mexico might pay us back in another way. And what would that be, and then seeing that, in this document that it says global fuel distribution. Why would we be responsible for global fuel distribution?
Doesn't make any sense.
And wouldn't that be kind of a NESARA thing?
It certainly could be, especially
kind of a free energy thing if the world is providing fuel for the whole world.
Oh, I didn't even look at it like that. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
If the world is providing fuel or energy for the world,
that goes back to free energy at its core. And actually, going back to free energy real quick, I just saw in China somewhere they just turned on their sun simulator again, and it reached a new all-time high of power and heat that it can put out, or something like that. It's this crazy new record, and that's what is that? That's a nuclear fusion reactor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I saw that. There's one other thing that is, so in Oklahoma, there's a McGirt Act, which has to do with reparations for Indians, and there's been a big issue with all that, and I really haven't done my research on it. I need to do more, but a lot of people have been following this story in Canada, and what's been going on with the Indigenous children there
for years and years and years.
Yeah. And this is, Canada has come to an agreement for historic reparations for over 200,000 Indigenous children. Billions of dollars will be paid in compensation to the victims of discriminatory First Nations child welfare system. So the Canadian government has reached a milestone in $31 billion settlement to compensate Indigenous children and families harmed by their discriminatory underfunding of the child welfare system on First Nations reservations, in two principal agreements relating to compensation for more than 200,000 affected children dating back to 1991, and a future reform of the system, represent the largest settlement in Canadian history.
How many billions?
31 billion.
I'm going to try and figure out the math on that. 31 billion divided by 200,000 children. It's like, did everyone just become like billionaires? Like, no, but like super millionaires? I gotta do the math on that. So 31 billion. That's a lot of zeros. I don't know if my phone can do that. 31 million, 3.1 billion, 31 billion divided by 200,000. That's 100. It's 155 million each. If that's accurate, if I'm doing that right, I mean, 31 billion divided by 200,000 children. $155 million.
No amount of money can reverse harms experienced, and describe the deals as an acknowledgement that successive governments had failed Indigenous children. Once finalized, the settlement will conclude a long-running legal battle which began in 2007 with a complaint by the First Nations Child and Family Caring Society to the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal. In 2016, the tribunal ruled that Ottawa had underfunded services for the First Nations children relative to those for non-Indigenous children.
So what they're doing is they're basically straight up admitting to
Here it says
racism
40,000 to every Indigenous child who had been removed from their family through the system or forced to leave their home.
I'm sorry, how much?
40,000
$40,000
Canadian.
Well, that's going to take a lot of $40,000 payments to equal 30. What was it?
31 billion.
31 billion. So, see, there's something funky with those numbers.
Yeah. And then it says, let's see, the Canadian 20 billion in funds earmarked for system reform may not tackle deep-rooted problems. I don't know. That's very strange.
So that is strange. It's strange, number one, that they're speaking about it.
And then Canada pledges 320 million to fund campaigns searching for residential school graves and support survivors. So some is going directly to the children who've been removed from their families. And then they're also doing these searching for school graves and support other survivors. Very interesting.
It just doesn't really make sense. Those numbers are just wacky.
There's more there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely more there. Wow. That is super cool. I'm hearing myself back. Is there an echo?
I can put my headphones on.
Well, I'm just I like that voice, but I'm like a canary. I love to hear myself talk and sing.
Well, it's probably because I didn't have my headphones on.
That's better. I think it's gone. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Yep. Sorry.
That's very cool. Now, also, I think, like I just said, what it looks like they're admitting here is, yeah, we did wrong. I mean, they could have just said payments being made, but this is like, hey, there was racism going on and still is, and really bad stuff. I mean, all these homes that these children were in, and they just literally went out in the back with a machine and dug a big hole, and just all the kids would end up in there. That's crazy. And then if you want to go back further, we heard about what happened when the Queenie reptile went there with her creepy old man husband, and I don't know if everybody heard that one.
For walks.
Yeah, they went for a walk. They decided to take an entire class of, I think, 20 or 30 something children out into the woods for a walk, and they literally just sent the whole school group of kids out with Queenie reptile and husband reptile, and maybe a caretaker or two, and the kids never came back, never heard from again, never found them again. They all just disappeared. An entire school classroom full of children. And this is in the papers, and this isn't conspiracy stuff. This happened. And kind of crazy stuff.
There's no conspiracies anymore.
I don't,
I've got to show you this. Our daughter is staying with us for a little bit. One of our girls came home, and there is this show called Inside Job it is very adult. Just don't let your kids watch this. But it's a Netflix cartoon, but it's very adult. And it's literally like reptiles. This is the president, who's a robot. There's well, I was going to try to, I don't know, this may be the first one.
That's interesting.
To the different episodes.
There's a lot of
healthcare.
these shows out now that are just so right on, with what's going on in the world for real.
They're in like the they're there at Harvard, and there's the blue bloods and reptiles, and they're at the Grammys. Is this the Grammys where they have the big golden statues? I can't remember.
Yeah, the Oscars. I don't know which one is
that
the
the
Oscars.
Oscars?
I don't know. I know the
Okay.
Oscars is the thing, and you win it at the Grammys or the.
Is it showing you guys the pictures?
No,
It's
I don't
not
see anything
showing.
on my end.
Oh, how weird.
Come
So
on.
I can see it on mine. I can see the big picture, but you guys can't see it.
No, it's just a black
That's
screen.
so bizarre. Okay.
Maybe
well,
close full screen.
Um,
I'm not
yeah,
surprised.
it won't let
Lately,
me do
my
that.
phone has been all sorts of wacky.
No, it's not
Dropping
a phone.
calls
I mean, it's like
all our devices.
I don't know why it won't show you that. Well,
Touche.
anyway, it's called Inside Job. It's this one up in the top, and it won't let you see it.
That's so funny.
That's very weird. Yeah.
We'll check that out. Inside Job.
So, yeah, but it has like it's very sick humor.
That's my daughter's been watching a show called the 100. She's totally in love with it, and it's a similar type of she just came over looking at me. It's a similar type of like end of the world show, and there's a group of, I know I'm going to get it wrong, but there's a group of people who were up in space stations, and they sent that. I just inhaled a bug. Corona. And they were up in these space stations, and they sent like a scout team down to make sure if like the air was breathable or something. And then it was, and then like they sent down a whole bunch of kids, and like, it was just like the weirdest kind of stuff that's going on. And so much of it was like exactly ringing true of like what's happening today. Like she's telling me things and I'm going, wait a second, that's just like this that's going on right now. And we're both like, that's crazy.
Yeah, our daughter was like, so we're going through, she's watching this movie, and I'm like, well, yeah, because that's in real life, this and this. And she's like, how do you guys know this? We're like, well, so yeah.
It's almost like it's switched. It's like it switched at one point from the
what
sci-fi.
The conspiracy is.
Yeah, it's like the sci-fi influencing the real world, and now it's like the real world is like where they're getting all this information from and making these shows. Like at some point, it flipped. I'm just trying to read.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, if you guys are not following what's going on with Reggie Middleton and Veritasium, I think I'm going to get to do an interview with him soon. I'm super excited.
With Reggie?
Yes, some of the
no way.
Yeah, they reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to do an interview with him. I said yes, but I might pass out.
That's very cool.
So I have to do my homework, but I'm very excited about it. Very, very, very excited. If you guys haven't seen this interview, he did this interview and was telling everyone Happy New Year. And I noticed he's a brilliant man. He does not do a little fat finger mistake. Notice this veritasium, the T is a 5. This was one of those gut things when I do my decode, when I'm watching things and I'm like, that's something. And this, he streamed live on December 31st, 2021. So he's telling everybody Happy New Year. Today is the 5th. And you notice there was a huge drop in the market today. I don't know if that's what this is about. He's also at the very end of this mentions the very Dow.
I didn't even notice how far this market dropped. When I checked in the morning, it hadn't done this.
No. It's huge. I'm so excited because my ex is supposed to have to pay me any day now.
Yes, score. That's awesome.
Uh,
Oh, wow. When did it dip? Because I checked. I don't feel like it was all that
like
long ago.
here, let's see.
And Ethereum was
Woo!
38.
Look at that. This is just 24 hours.
Wow.
So this just happened right after noon.
Wowzers.
And I don't know if that's what the 5 on the Veritasium was. There was also somebody talking about a Fed report coming out. I don't know if that came out today. I've been really busy today, so I have not kept up with the news like I should have. I apologize. I think the Fed report came out today. So I don't know if that did, and if they were talking about, whether they were going to move the inflation up or down, that could have really, talked this up. Yeah, I was on the Veritasium Telegram today,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about more patents coming out. So that could be. Then I also went over and found that the very DAO was following me on Twitter. I was so incredibly flattered. And so I reached out to them to see if I can be a part of that project. So I'm going to submit to try to be part of the very DAO and see if there's any way I can help with that community and be part of that project. And that's
Very
how I got to reach out to the community. And they said that, asked me if I'd like to interview Reggie. So if you guys have questions, if you're watching this now and you have questions for Reggie, please put them in the comments because I will need all the help I can get.
Yeah, I mean, if things go the way they should go, and apparently all of DeFi is his stuff, right? It's like everything, all the swap sites, all everything. It's all from him, and I guess there's been a lot of similar situations in history where the good people have had their ideas stolen from them and then spread around, and they let it grow for a little bit, and then sometimes they get it, their property back. But I mean, that would be cool if this goes, even if it just goes where it should. I mean, we could be looking at like the next Bill Gates over there, but in like a good guy side.
But a good guy, not a
Yeah.
Well, and when I first started hearing about DAOs, when I heard about the very DAO, like today was the first time, or well, on New Year's Eve when I heard Reggie say that in the recording, and then I noticed that 5 in there. So I was like, does that mean something's going to happen on the 5th? And then I saw this Veritasium DAO following me. And so I was trying to put this all together. Today's Woo Woo Wednesday. So I'm just kind of going through my thought process. And what I understand about a DAO and what I get excited about is, and I'm going to be very careful with my words, but, where we feel like our choices have been taken from us. A DAO is a system where a community speaks and the community upholds the choice. Like that's how the system works.
Right.
And so it goes back to that like small control or small government kind of thing. And so I don't know if that's one of the solutions. I'm curious to see if that's part of it. So I don't know. Got excited about that.
That does sound really cool. There's a lot happening. I mean, the year is nothing too in our faces, no big moments yet, but we spoke about that before. Everyone is obviously waiting for this big moment, this big event to happen, something to happen, but we have to watch what's going on slowly, the slow drip all along. And I think, for quite some time, that slow drip of events coming in and leading up to these other bigger things, I think, is
the other thing that we want to be watching is, we all are, big Uncle Cliff watchers, listeners, learners. And he was talking about, we know that Mr. T was supposed to speak yesterday. And then Ben posted something Bitcoin Ben posted something there was North Korea sent off some kind of missile like about an hour, and and then like an hour later, Mr. T canceled his speaking engagement. And so I don't know if those two things are related or not, but Ben seemed to think that they were, and he's pretty intelligent man. So I don't know if that had anything to do with each other or not. But then Uncle Cliff yesterday on the 4th had, let me see if I can pull it up, had also a man that doesn't do things by mistake.
And we also have that Russian rocket that supposedly went up and didn't do the right thing, and it's still twirling around in outer space right now. That it's supposed to come down sometime. Last I heard, where it's going to fall is in Australia somewhere.
What was yesterday's video called?
Cliff's video.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was never bring ideology to a woo fight. Then there was Lumpy
Woo. Was the day before.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll look it up quick. 1 sec.
Because the one yesterday said, no, it wasn't on Uncle Cliff's. It was David, Nino Rodriguez, and Cliff. Right. And it was that silent war or something like that, or quiet war.
Yeah.
And behind Uncle Cliff, he has written on the board 1-7. He has 22-17. So first of all, he has it written Julian calendar, which he has been doing since about October. But he has 1-7 on the 4th. And he's been talking about some
it was called the Quiet War.
The Quiet War.
Yeah, okay. The Quiet War with
Nino and that was on Nino Rodriguez channel. But Uncle Cliff doesn't write. He writes today's date on the board. And so why on the 4th is he writing the 7th? And he's been doing a lot of messaging. My husband was teasing me because I was standing to the side of the TV the other day because Uncle Cliff said, this, I like the perspective of this map in the Pacific off to the side. And so I was like, oh, he's telling us to stand to the side and look at the map and look at so anyway.
And then he had that mask in the background with some kind of head wrap on it that was looked like the old time prison garb, and they had their little prison fitted hats and caps that they used to wear with the black and white stripes.
And I don't know how much that when he says things, like, I don't know if he's saying those things for us or if we're supposed to say that what we think he's saying. Like, I don't know if we're supposed to decode for the public or if that's just
I think that's kind of what happens on this environment right here.
Because I don't know if it's I don't know if I'm like betraying things, because I've thought that before. I've said that before. Right. Like, are we saying, like, when I would go, you guys, it's a movie, and then I'm like, wait, am I hurting the effort because they need people to not think it's a movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like when I found the 1605 and I'm going through it and I'm telling people, and then somebody says, oh, well, who signed it, Brandon? And then I'm like, oh, well, should I not tell people that what's going on?
I think the information
hurting the effort if people knew what's going
I think
on?
if we were hurting, or if you were hurting the effort, I think that would be made clear. I would like to think that would be made clear, but a lot of decode stuff, a lot of woo stuff goes on this show. A lot of off thoughts and really out there ideas are tossed around, and I think maybe that's why some of the information might be being shown for people like us who can interpret this stuff.
Maybe I guess it's like we put it out there and then we ask people, look for yourself.
Yeah.
We're putting it out there, what we found and what we're interpreting, and then please go look it up and listen to your gut. Listen, what do you think? Yeah. What are you seeing?
And in that same video, when he does the little window thing, it's in the very beginning, right?
Yeah. And he says,
just look at the window and look at the top left-hand corner when he mentions the window. And that's all we'll say. Just take a screenshot and zoom in.
Yeah. The birds attacking the house.
Well, maybe that was some kind of Hitchcock reference or something. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure that's it.
You gotta like, you know.
But child, he loves the perspective of this map off to the side. My husband is watching me stand to the side of the living room, and I'm like, okay, stand over here and look at the TV this way. Oh, and then I see it, you know. He's like, what are you seeing? And I'm like, you see it right there. I can see it. And then later I see something on my Twitter feed that looks just like it. And I'm like, see, same thing, same picture. He's like,
maybe we should all go get our Ovaltine decoder rings and, you know.
I think that's what we were supposed to do. Get the
That's what he said on Lumpy Woo, right? He said,
that.
or no, on the one before Lumpy Woo.
He said, yeah,
get out your decoder rings, kids, you know.
Yep.
There's a lot going on here. There's definitely a lot going on. And there's no rules. See, that's the thing. There's no rules. There's no rules. There's no rules as to doing this. There's no like this plus this equals this. It's all intuition. It's like maybe the whole purpose is an exercise on getting intuition back and trusting your gut. We've been taught not to do that for so long. There's too many life rules that we're supposed to follow and social norms and, you know, political correctness that kind of take away all that, you know, when you have just your gut feeling to do something, you know, who knows? Maybe it's just an exercise.
It makes me think of that thing in Matrix, where they ask him, like, is it true you can fly or something like that? Like, what if we could all fly? We've just been told we can't since we were born. So we've just never tried.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What if, like Uncle Cliff says, well, you know, we're all psychic, but we just have been told we're not, you know?
Right.
So.
Which is nuts. We all are. I mean, definitely we all are. And some people are just a little more in touch with it. And some people just want nothing to do with it, even if they can see it. Or some people saw it when they were children and didn't want to see it anymore. So you block it out. There's all different reasons, because if it's not part of the norm, then who wants to be like the abnormie, you know, especially as a little kid or, you know, teens or whatever. I mean, people, there's a lot of people who are doing terrible things medically these days to just to fit in, just to not to ruffle any feathers, you know. And you know, it is what it is, even
when it comes to harming themselves, you know.
Yep. And then
it's kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's certainly trying times.
That just kind of true.
Look through the chat here, see what's going on. Shout out to the chat. Love you guys. Thank you for joining.
There were, I thought this was interesting. The governments of UK and Canada were admitting to using mass psychosis. And we have to be really careful with our words on this, but
yeah.
Let me see if I can share this without getting in trouble.
Was that what you texted me?
I believe I did. This was about population control.
Oh yeah. I want to go back to it here.
I won't talk about it. I'll just show the pictures, but they were talking about population control and instilling fear and using mind control to instill fear in the population. And I guess this was in Canada and the UK. It was very interesting.
See, something like this could easily just be overlooked or missed or anything, or just underlooked. You know, you can just see, okay, you can read the headline and say, oh yeah, you know, okay, duh, you know. And then you can also say, hey, wait a second, this is like, what is this? This is, you know, this is like coming out now. You know, these things weren't said. This would have been denied and you would have been called a conspiracy wacko. But, you know, now it's actually coming out that there's these things happening. There's this mass psychosis, mind control stuff happening.
Yeah. There was a congressman too that did something really brilliant. Hold on, let me find it. He put that interview in, Oh, sometimes I do tweet too much. Hold on.
Every now and then I get on Twitter, I can sneak on and I can just look at stuff. And it's like, all right, let's see what Lisa posted today.
I know.
It's like for
But
5
it's
minutes, I'm
all
like,
really good stuff. I
yeah, well,
just
it's important.
have a lot of information.
It is all good stuff. There's actually nothing on there that's not worth looking at.
Oh, Buzz Aldrin confirmed that the moon landing was staged. I thought that was funny because I've heard that
There was a
multiple times
video,
in my
yeah.
life.
There was a video out a while. Was this new?
Yeah, I guess he
I
came
didn't
out
see that.
and he said,
Interesting. I'm just saying, he's a known bricklayer. I'm just saying, gotta,
so
just
he
saying.
was
Think
like
about it.
saying
Think
that it
about it.
was not true. He came out talking about it in this article. But
Did you ever see the video with the little girl who asked him about this, landing on the moon, and he just turns and he says, "Well, because we didn't." And then it's like, "What?" He's like, "We didn't go." I mean, that video's been out for some time. That's a pretty good one.
This channel is in Arkansas, and has really interesting posts. I think they do comms a lot, and like this one is like I can't remember what it is, like a German.
Malinois?
No, I'll open it up and see if it shows.
I can't see how.
Am I showing you guys the screen? Okay, good. So these two dogs, and I think this is definitely a dog comm. One of them is thrilled to have two unique breeds join the registry.
Oh,
One is a
yeah.
Russian toy, and it joined with roots in the aristocracy. Let's see, Russian toy, and the
Russian
other
toy
one
Snugglebutt.
is a German shepherd from Hungary. And I was like, okay, that is probably like, those must be like two dog comms. They probably took out somebody that's either like a Russian somebody, Russian little something, and a German something is my guess.
Yeah.
So,
Well, didn't Where's Hunter have all sorts of ties to both of those groups?
oh, maybe so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what made me think of that, but who knows?
Where is this tweet?
I don't know. Twitter does not like me.
Sorry, guys. I know. I wanted to find this really quick. Well, basically, it was a congressman that took that interview that was on Joe Rogan, and he put it in Congress like notes. I don't know if it was in the Library of Congress, but he put it in somewhere where it cannot be censored. And so because of that, like it will never be censored and it will be saved like forever. So I thought that was brilliant.
Is that the Library of Congress, you said?
I'm not 100% sure that it was Library of Congress. That's why I was trying to go back through and find the tweet. But I can't remember when I saw it. I think I may have skimmed over it.
Yeah. Twitter does not like me anymore. Although I wish I could get back on. It's only because they kicked me out.
Here it is. I'm sorry. Okay, so it was Congressman Troy Nels, I guess. He said, today I submitted the transcript from the Joe Rogan experience with that doctor to the congressional record. Okay, so that's where it is. Big tech wants to restrict your access to this information, but they cannot censor the congressional record. So I thought that was brilliant. So that will be forever in the congressional record.
So. Is our picture clear? Because
I
I'm
think
looking on
so.
my phone and it won't come in. It's in like low definition on my phone, but my phone's on 5G. So, oh, that looks good. But I look at it through StreamYard, so I really don't know what it looks like.
StreamYard, I don't know.
StreamYard looks good, but I'm not sure what's
I'm
coming
not
through
sure.
on the TV. Is our camera good, guys? Yeah. Thank you.
Not sure.
Yeah, it's just I noticed that on another one of your shows the other day. Tom says his is clear. Rick says everything is fine. Cool. Okay, thank you. All right, Ronnie says 5.5.
Thank you, guys.
Very cool. I noticed that on one of your shows. Maybe they're
Chef
shutting
says
down my
blurry.
bandwidth or something. Because I've been noticing shows are like a little fuzzy lately, or maybe it's just my eyes are going. I don't know.
You're getting old.
Something's wrong with the TV. Oh, so my TV broke. I got a new television last year for Christmas. I got like a good one. It's like a nice model Samsung with all the, it was like the one of the, I don't know if it was the best one at the time or like the almost best one. And it crept out like on the 1 year anniversary. Like literally, it's
right
it's
when
like,
the whatever thing is up on it.
One day after the warranty was up. Yeah.
Of course.
And it's like are they doing the same thing with televisions now that they do with phones? I mean, this is crazy. But still, half the price of what thank God television prices have come down because it's like half the price of a new iPhone now. But
I know, but they're going to go back up with the shortages, and then, I don't know. Is there silver in TVs? Probably so.
in
With
everything,
tech,
yeah, silver is in everything. Every piece of electronic has some amount of silver in it.
some amount of silver.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and gold usually too. As little as it is, but there's still how many millions of cell phones made a year. I read something years ago that Apple was, I think it was before they started going off and sending all of their manufacturing overseas. They had to have something like 200,000 ounces of physical silver on hand for production at any one time. And like they would have it in like these warehouses and stuff like this. Yeah, physical for, actually being consumed away. And that's something we have to think about. It's all of these little bits and pieces of silver and gold and cobalt and rhodium and all these other precious metals and rare earth materials that are in all our cell phones, remotes, and all devices. When this gets thrown out, it's gone. So silver is one of the main ones in the world, or one of the main ones in the world. It's just most of what gets produced gets consumed every year. There's a big discrepancy between gold. They say basically almost all of the gold that's ever been produced is still around. It's still in vaults and this and that. There is little bits in cell phones and stuff like that,
because they can reuse it.
Because they just
I
keep
guess with
reusing
silver, like because in medical industry that gets consumed.
Yeah, photography. When people used to actually use film for their cameras, there was, you could have you had these big giant drums of was it silver nitrate, I believe, for the process of developing. And that back in the day, they used to just dump it down the drain. In the 60s and 70s, there was really no rules of what they had to do. And then people only started to collect that stuff after the fact. But my grandfather was a lithographer back. That was like his career. And he retired in the 80s. And in the 80s, he was he was actually doing it from his home as like a contractor or something at the end. He used to work in one of these big places, and then he took it all home and he was doing like this fine detailing work. And you go down in Grandpa's basement, it always had all the everything was always dark all the time. He had the red lights and everything. It was the coolest thing when I was a little kid. And he passed away. He had a humongous bar of silver that he just was able to refine out himself from this, silver nitrate material in part of the developing process. So that's tons of this stuff just gets lost every year. They say there's an equal amount now of gold and silver, of available gold and silver on Earth, according to their official numbers, which we know is skewed. But if we're going to use numbers, we have to use their official numbers because that's what they're playing by. So they say there's 5 or 6 billion ounces of gold or 5 or 6 billion ounces of silver available on Earth at any one time. That's it. So why the price discrepancy? It's crazy.
It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense, but
all of it is, a lot of things don't make A lot of things don't make sense to me.
I know.
All that stuff. Crazy, crazy.
It is. I don't know how they keep doing it too. It's like, it's like how much paper money every day or every week or every year is just getting thrown into suppress the prices of these things. Apparently it's worth it to them, but imagine what could be done with all that money, throwing around $1 billion here, $1 billion there, or, what could be done with this just to flush it down the toilet with these people. Actually,
I don't know.
I like that. I'm reading these. I
so
almost read it out loud. I was like, shh.
I know. Back to NDAA thoughts, since it's Woo Woo Wednesday. We started off talking about the reparations to the Indians, which that's a thought with NDAA's reparations to Native Americans. A big part of NDAA is also reparations to or base in our farmers in America specifically.
Well, that's where it started. The farmers started the whole the whole thing, where they had some successful lawsuits, and they're the ones that was it the early 90s, and they actually had some successful lawsuits that actually brought this forward and presented these things into the court systems.
Okay.
And then there's all the stories about, it gets mushed up and who knows really what happened.
Remembered
but the fact is that it was from the
farmers being a big part of this. So when I saw this tweet, and this was a January 3rd tweet, I just thought, oh, and El Donaldo Trumpo tweeting, "I love my farmers." I thought, okay, is that kind of the start of it? And then there were several things that we were seeing pointing to the 5th, and I think a couple of psychics that I had done shows with SL were seeing stuff on the 5th. The markets, crashing or having, negative effects on the markets are on the 5th. So I don't know. This just was kind of stuck out to me.
And then Uncle Cliff has his high emotional.
Yeah.
But how did he word it?
For the 7th, right?
I thought I'm not sure if it was the 7th
or the 4th.
More like. No, I thought there was something later that I read, or maybe I read it somebody quoting Cliff and they had it wrong. But
he has a couple days. He has like the 7th.
One was like the 17th and the 18th, maybe.
And there's a 17th or 18th, and then
there was the 23rd, right?
I think there's 3 days in January. I can't remember now. I need to go back.
Maybe Uncle Cliff would reinforce that, because so many people quote what he says and quote what he does. It's, although people, I would say most of the people who are quoting Cliff do have the best intentions, but we can't remember all the numbers all the time, all the dates all the time. And, if you hear one.
I did think that was really interesting to see him write 1-7 on that interview on the 4th.
Right.
Because I do feel like lately he has been really sending a lot of coding messages on his videos. Like, I just feel like it's been nonstop.
Pay attention, guys. He said it himself. Get out your decoder rings when you're watching.
Get out your decoder.
He says he said, get out your decoder ring when you're watching this guy. And we said I thought immediately he was just got done speaking about 45, and I thought, but maybe he meant this guy.
And how many times has Uncle Cliff been saying 17? Oh, my dad was in the military for 17 years. And I was like,
yep.
Really?
Want to see something really funny? Open up already, but for anyone else who's questioning, go to the gematrix.org, the gematria calculator. I said
calculator.
Calculator. And type in Cliff High and just see what the first result is, and it's like 5 times what higher than next
every
result.
other.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. And how that even works, I have no idea. How could all of that equal that little tiny beautiful circle with the line in it? It is what it is.
It's pretty fun. Yeah.
It's certainly a team, there's certainly I don't know, Rick. This current one, part of the team.
Or did he just hang it up?
An admirer, but I don't know if anyone else noticed previously, especially previously in the summer. He really never, when he was speaking, he really was very, very careful with his words. True, he was on YouTube at the time, and he was worried about getting the Zibuten, but he. Oh, I just lost my train of thought. See that? I looked at the screen and I read.
But he never would address that letter or bring it up. He's changed his.
He seems a lot more at ease. He seems a lot more comfortable and confident what he's talking about. And he's talking, oh, that's what it was. So he always referred to the bugs as the bugs and only spoke very, very, very rarely of it. Now he just like whole show on the bugs. It's almost like he's got, I don't know. It's like he's got some
carte blanche.
Yeah. However these things work.
I don't know. It is interesting. And his personality has changed. He's gone through seasons. Like, man, when he was so angry when he was fighting the cancer, that was a hard Uncle Cliff to watch when he was so angry. And then he, built up his strength and came back. And then he was like determined, hell on wheels, Uncle Cliff.
Yeah.
For a while. And
he said it was personal. He said he says he's taking this personal and he's going to do everything he can to expose
and then
what's going on.
He was like very like educational Uncle Cliff for a while there. And now he seems to be really having fun with it.
He does.
He's still very determined and very educational, but he seems to be having a little more fun with it.
Jim just said I had a senior moment.
Oh, wow.
It's possible.
That's hardcore.
Hey, I got photographic proof of you, buddy. I got photographic proof of you, Jim. We were hanging out. I got pictures. I got pictures. But what happens in Florida stays in Florida, apparently. Which, by the way, I would love to direct everybody to Jenny Moonstone's video she took that night. I'm just saying. It was absolutely hysterical. She posted it on Facebook. Very, very funny. So there's a video she posted on. As
long as Jim doesn't post his video.
No. That would probably get everybody in some, some fun and games. What am I saying? But it's Jenny Moonstone, if you're following her on Facebook, or Jenny Constantine, I think it is on. She posted a video on December, I guess it would have been like the 17th, right?
Yeah.
And it's just really funny. It's tagged Lisa in the video, and so you guys got to check that out. You see the whole alligator scene going on. There was an alligator chasing people, and Lisa can scream.
Parts of an alligator chasing people. Yeah.
Lisa can scream. She's got some pipes on her. And run quite quickly.
Yes. You're so funny.
It was funny.
Oh, goodness. Anyway.
What else we got going on?
Next weekend, Westwood and I will be in Dallas on the 14th. Well, not on the 14th, on the 15th.
Wait, that's next weekend already?
Yeah, isn't it?
I thought you said I thought you said March.
No, January.
Oh, see, I don't even know that. I thought you guys weren't. I stopped checking in with the Westwood.net. By the way, all these meetups are going to be on Westwood.net, ClintWestwood.net. And at the top, click the tab of Happy Hour Roadshow, and you get all the information. But yeah, I thought you guys weren't going to do one.
Well, we weren't, but Ben asked, and so we said yes.
Okay, so
January. I said yes, and then Westwood, I drag him along.
He's like, okay. All right, you got to grab him by his big ear, by his big muscular ear, and pull him along.
Yes, yeah, and he's pretty awesome. So we'll be there. Definitely on the 15th and 16th, possibly on the 14th, depending on things out of my control.
Dallas.
Yeah, but we will be there at Ben's meetup with the founders group. So super excited about that. And then Bix has asked us to go on the road show with him. So we're going to pick at least one of those events, trying to figure out which one to go on in February. So if you guys haven't looked at his, he's like every Wednesday and every Saturday in February, Bix has a road show all over California, Arizona, and Nevada. So trying to figure out where we're going to go. I wish they would lift the mask thing in Vegas, and then that would be an easy one because I think most people can like fly in, fly out. You can get cheap flights and cheap hotels.
Yeah, it's super cheap now.
Yeah, but they have masking in Vegas, so I really don't want to go there.
No, I mean,
but I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe they'll find a way to make it more glamorous.
I'm going to talk to Bix and Amy and see kind of where they want. I think Jenny was talking about going to Vegas, but then we talked about it and she's like, yeah, I don't want to do the mask thing either. So we might end up in Phoenix because at least there's no masks.
Okay.
Warrior says he's going to go to the Sonoma one. I thought about going to that one just because that's where Bix and Amy just moved to. So
did they? That's cool. Doesn't his father? Didn't his father? I see have a winery down there one time. Didn't I see on a or a vineyard? Right.
Yeah, I don't know where the vineyard is. Dad is
he
very
remembered
secretive
Sonoma.
about where the vineyard is.
Yeah, well,
So-
he did some videos from it back in the day. He sit on this beautiful porch and he said, "I'm in my dad's vineyard," and I'm pretty sure I thought he said Sonoma on the video, but this was a long time ago, and I could be totally just making it all up. I don't know.
I don't know where it is exactly, but so that's January and February's plans, and then when Westwood and I are together next weekend, we've got some locations and some dates, or not dates yet, but locations where we're going to start planning for the rest of the year. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That sounds cool. I'm going to look for tickets right away. Is all the information on Westwood's site?
Not yet, probably, but we're getting there.
Okay.
I'm working on it. So, and I'm trying to work on my website, trying to get things going.
Okay.
The years just got here too fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're getting it. We're getting it going.
Well, you guys were planning on taking a break, like I said, so.
Well, I thought so, but
when duty calls, we serve,
When Ben calls, you
what
show
the
up.
hell was that?
I don't know.
I meant to go like that, but I actually did sorry.
Right hand over your heart.
Yeah. I there was a wire in the way, and I tried to, and then I moved my hand, and it looked like I was doing the Hail Hitler. What the heck? The heck is going on?
I know Jenny Alicia had mentioned wanting to be a host for Jekyll Island, and there's Ranger on Twitter talked about having me come out and be a backup singer for his band in Austin. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I think we're going to do a meetup in Austin, and kind of excited about that one. And that one, Satoshi Sean is close to Austin, so he might come down for that. We might do some collaboration there. And then my friend Lord Norris, Eric Norris, is out in North Carolina, and Rice is out there, so we might do something out there.
Polly P's out there too.
And Polly P's out there. Yeah. So try to do something that way. And then
Mitchie's in the house.
Hi, Mitchie. Yeah, we'll probably do something up in Michigan where Mitchie is. And so we'll bounce around and see everybody. I think we're going to go back to Utah. Ben had talked to me about the college that we spoke at last year, wanting us to come back again. So we'll probably do another one out in Utah. Yeah.
That's very cool. Miss Teen Crypto will probably go too, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah. She went last year with us. So
yeah,
that'll be another one. So
very cool.
We'll just look for some partners to, and one in Dayton with the Coin Vigilante with his Litecoin and Bitcoin watches. So we'll do one there as well. So
I did manage somehow to see a tweet not that long ago. He had this giant stack of boxes behind him with all the watches that he just had gotten back.
Them out. Yeah.
Very cool. Congratulations. I love watches, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of work though. It's not easy. It's not easy doing stuff with watches.
They're getting ready to launch the second batch getting ready to launch the website for the second opportunity to purchase watches. Okay. So they'll have, I think he said 250 on this second round that will be available. So
very cool.
It will be good. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to those guys. Nice people too. A sweet young couple, as an old guy like me would say. Just a nice young couple, really nice people.
Yeah. They've got their head on straight. They're so young, and they just are really, grabbing at life and just really, taking advantage of where they are in life, and it's really inspiring to
Yeah.
be around them. So I'm excited. We're going to go to their wedding at the end of this month. So
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
yeah, it'll be fun. We'll post some pictures, I'm sure.
Yeah, seriously. That would be a great thing. How cool is that, huh?
Yeah.
Join the fam. Join the fam, everyone. Lisa will go to your wedding. That's
Everybody's
a promise. No.
Yeah, Litecoin for wedding gifts for everybody.
There you go.
For sure.
Hey, Nana, that all goes back to Nana. Nana
started it. Yeah.
Nana started a thing. You know, that thing Nana started is now just rippling out all over the place.
That's right. My future son-in-law came on last night, and he's like, okay, I'll come on, and he wants to learn more about crypto. And so we're going to start, as he learns more about crypto, he's going to come on the show and talk to me about, he wants to learn about liquidity pool mining. So Johnny's going to come on my Patreon and do a class for people on my Patreon. Yeah. And Matt's going to come on and learn with him. And then we're going to learn about something else, and Matt's going to come on and talk about it and try to like give that next generation's point of view. And I told him, I said, we need to bring Nana on too, because there's this different perspective at each generation. You know, like the way mom looks at NFTs and the way my generation looks at NFTs and the way Matthew's generation looks at NFTs and the way, you know, different, whether it's a project or a technology or whatever it is, you know, it's, we all have a different either use case or perspective of that. So I thought it was really interesting. So
very versatile. It was a great idea. It really is. Speaking of NFTs, I just saw an ad for Lamborghini is actually coming out with their own line of NFTs, and they're like pumping the heck out of it. They're really doing a lot of advertising and, you know, really
we talked about that on the show on Monday.
Well, I mean, I knew that.
You watched the show on Monday. You would know that.
I was there for part of it, and then I got, you know, a cup of spaghetti thrown on my face by the little one.
I had to give me crap about it.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Don't worry, I still love you.
I know. I love you too. All right. Well, and I love everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us. We are going to run, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Speaking of Johnny, he'll be back tomorrow, and I'm sure he's going to learn or teach us some more things about some more passive income opportunities. We're really trying to help people in 2022 find ways that people can, you know, we're seeing this growth in people leaving the typical workforce, and we want to help people figure out other ways of income. So
that's the goal. Spread the knowledge, change your life with it. Even if you can just partially change your life with it, it's great. And then you can be able to learn more and build the direction you're going. It's just, amen. It's a fantastic idea.
Absolutely. So we'll see you guys next time. And everybody, get a little woo in your life. Share this video with somebody you love. Take care.
Get a little woo in your life.
Bye.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from Calyx Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from Calyx Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calyxsolutions.io.